Sitting in the second row, you were so close. How was it that you in the third row did not get injured?
Well, I don't know. He literally had pulled the gun on me, and then I just ducked and covered, and I literally got to the ground and jumped on my best friend, and we all just laid there as flat. It was as flat as we possibly could.
Wait, back up. He pulled. So you're there. You see him walk in. You're pretty close to him.
Yeah, exactly. 4 or 5 feet.
He came 4 or 5 feet to you.
Yeah.
And pointed right at you.
Yeah.
Which one of the guns do you know?
The rifle. I don't know what specific kind of rifle. It's just the rifle.
And what did you think?
Well, my heart stopped first and foremost, and I didn't know what to think other than I needed to move fast, or otherwise I was going to get shot, And so I just jumped to the ground on top of my best friend, and just we tucked underneath the chairs as far as that goes, and there was another couple in front of us also, and I told them to get down low too, and then don't move at all, and when the gunman goes up the stairs, crawl as fast as you can to get on the other side and get out.
So you immediately did not think it was something that to promote the movie. You knew it was bad.
Oh no, if there was a gun in my face, I knew he wasn't playing around.
Yeah. And so you were in the third row. And so was he, as he's coming, does he stand there or does he continue to move the entire time?
He continued to move, but it was a few seconds before he started to move, and those few seconds were when it took us to figure out that he wasn't joking, because I did immediately think that he was joking. I thought that the canister that he threw into the audience was like a smoke bomb or like some firework. I thought that the rifle was maybe like a Roman candle that he was shooting off, and then I realized that as you looked at the rifle, it wasn't a piece of flame shooting from the barrel, it was the bullet igniting out of the barrel. And
Did you then start to ingest whatever was in that canister?
No, he threw it behind the lower section of the theater, so it all pretty much rose to the higher, the lifted seats. We were really lucky to not get that in our faces.
It eventually traveled down, but at the very, very end, and it wasn't as it was diluted at that point, so it wasn't as strong.
Did you guys get any injuries at all?
Nothing too big. I just have scrapes and stuff, but nothing like
cuts
huge.
and bruises.
So you're in front, and I imagine there aren't as many people that are as close as you are. People usually sit back. So are you seeing what's going on? Are you seeing people falling and people being injured?
Yeah, if you looked back, you could see all the people getting shot. I mean, you could see people falling, down the stairs, people, kids and women and children screaming. You could hear it. I mean, even though it was really loud and the movie was still going, and there's a lot of gunshots, and it was really hard to tell what was happening where. I mean, if you were to look back, you could see it all, but I kept my head down to try to just stay safe.
So you stayed, and were people just sort of ducking for cover, or did anyone running out? Did you see anyone try to run past him or make it out, or were most people like just getting on the floor?
Well, we were, from my seat, the front portion of us were all like ducking for cover. Even your row and everybody else's row, we were smart. We just ducked to the ground. At that point, he was only left with the people in the back, and from what I could see, those people were just getting up and running, which I don't think was a smart idea.
Well, I think the problem, I was hearing someone talk about how they were in one of the lifted rows, and when they ducked, since the seats were raised, there was only maybe 6 inches of cover over them, so they couldn't get down. It was no use, really.
I have to ask you this, and I'm glad that you survived, you all, but we're sad for the victims and their families. And you've heard of survivor's guilt. Do you think, like, oh my gosh, why me?
Yeah,
How did I survive this?
I kind of definitely did in the beginning of the day. People were asking me about that a lot. It was, because I heard that there was like a 6-year-old that got shot and a baby, and it's like, I'm 22 years old. I've lived more of my life than a 6-year-old has. Take me instead. Don't take that 6-year-old. And I had that guilt at first, but now I realized I did like what any normal human being would have done in the situation, which is try to survive and try to save as many as you possibly can. Yeah, and there's only so much you can do. Like, in realism, I realized that people were not going to be able to come out.
What do you say to the world? The world is watching you right now. What do you say about the people here and what you survived?
I mean, taking all of this tragedy with the incredible unity and support that has immediately formed underneath all of the victims and the people who have witnessed this, it's really inspiring to see the way that people can come together over something that's so horrendous and life-changing and ruining, really. I mean, people's lives will never be the same after this night, but still, there are so many people reaching out and trying to make a difference.